crazy morning here at Barn Find. If I look tired, it's because I've been up since way too early because a barn find just arrived and the driver got here a little earlier than I was expecting, so I had to rush over, but totally worth it because this is a crazy cool barn find. It's a car that's been on our bucket list for quite a while. We've actually had one already, but it was just a parts car. We thought it was going to be a restorable car, and we got it. And when we bought it, and then we got it here, and it wasn't doable. So a drivable one has eluded us for a very long time. So we are incredibly excited to be revealing this barn find. Unfortunately, Jesse had something come up and couldn't be here this morning, so he's missing out. So it's just me today. But that's cool. I'm down with it. I get to play with an awesome car today. So it's a car that some of you probably will be really excited about. Some of you probably won't get. I'm sure lots of you will have never even seen one. We have actually featured this particular car on the site a number of years ago, and we just couldn't act quick enough to get it. It disappeared. So when it resurfaced, still in a barn, we had to have it. So drum roll, please. There it is. In the United States, we know it as a Daimler SP250. In Europe, they are the Daimler Dart. For obvious reasons, Daimler could not use the Dart name here in the United States, or the Dart name here in the United States. So they renamed it the SP250. I'll get to the SP250 part here in a second. But just look at this thing. It's freaking crazy. Possibly one of the wildest designs to come out of the 50s. Some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, we love the way these things look. It's just crazy, honestly. I mean, look at the nose on it. I mean, people have called them catfishes. They've got all kinds of names people use for them, but in my book, it's just straight up cool. The grill is just nuts. The way the fenders flow. I mean, look at these. Look at these guys for your turn signals. That's just nuts. The way these roll. Obviously, it'd be extremely difficult to make lines like this out of steel or aluminum, so it's all fiberglass. You know, pros and cons there. The seller told us the rear deck lid got damaged, so they sourced one off of another car, a parts car, I'm guessing, and it's green. We're not sure what we'll do with that yet. After working with lots of British cars, we know that things like hinges, well, they seem like they're impossible to get. There would be on a car that there's only like, you know, 1,200 of that were built and maybe like 500 or 600 left. A lot of the parts came from just the standard British parts bin. So these are hinges off of like a TR3. Same with these front hood hinges. So stuff like that actually isn't that hard to find, which is great. Window frames, glass, that kind of stuff's tricky. But this car's glass looks like it's pretty good. I mean, this thing literally just came out of the barn yesterday and came from Southern California, so it's still dusty. We're not sure if we're gonna like do a full clean detail on it, if we're gonna leave it looking kind of dusty and just clean up what's necessary to drive it. So the seller told us the engine runs. It needs a water pump. They sent the internals of a water pump. We'll see if I can get that to work without some special equipment, but we'll see. So I got to pull the water pump out and do that. The brakes work. Transmission seems to shift fine. Obviously, we're gonna have to do full service on it, do all the fluids. Before we take a look at the glorious engine, let's take a look at the so it's a pretty standard trunk, decent size for a British sports car of this era. You see we got a tonneau, and it looks like maybe a tan convertible top. Honestly, you guys are going through this with me. I haven't looked at this real close. I'm guessing glove box there. Like a door hinge or something in that box. I don't know. We'll have to look in what's in there. Something chrome in there. Let's take a look at the inside. It's a pretty standard British fare, honestly. It's pretty simple. You know, how much of it's original, how much of it's been replaced and modified, we don't know yet. Like, literally haven't gone through it. We just got here just a few minutes ago. These seats do look like the earlier style buckets. This is a early car, so like a first series car. Look at that funny back seat. I guess you can put your kids back there. No leg room. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the top's not too bad a shape. I'll have to like try to see what's going on with the back windows, but I don't see any holes, tears. That's good. Mechanism looks like it's in good shape. Steering wheel's been rewrapped in leather. It looks like it's a banjo wheel though. It's got the tourniqueter, or whatever you call it, the steering column mounted turn signal, like what's used on a TR3. All the gauges are here. Obviously, we don't know if they work. They're all Smith gauges though. Keys there. Let's go around and pop the hood here. Now these cars were incredible. If you don't know anything about the Daimler SP250, it was like a notch above an Austin Healey, like a big Healey, like an Austin 100, and below a Jaguar XK, like an XK 120. So it looks like our glove box is missing, so that's what's back there in the back. But let's go ahead and see if we can get the hood to pop. Oh, check this out. This is sweet. An operator's manual. Maybe it'll have how to do the water pump, because I haven't figured that out yet. Let's see. We'll find out. Go ahead and close this. Okay. That is a V8, a Hemi head V8. It's a Daimler 2.5 liter. So these engines were incredible, super sophisticated for its time. Put the hood support. So yeah, 2.5 liter V8 Hemi head design, just very similar to like Chrysler Hemi from the era, just smaller. Obviously SU carburetors, just 2 of them. If you haven't, I highly recommend that you watch Jay Leno's video about his SP250. So he has his intake manifold modified for like a Weber 4-barrel, and it really opened the engine up. I don't think we're gonna get that crazy. We don't have that kind of budget probably, but you know, there's things you can do to open these up a little bit, get them to breathe a little better. Honestly, this thing looks pretty dang clean. I mean, obviously, like the valve covers are aluminum, so those aren't gonna like corrode or anything. So it's kind of hard to tell what's going on, because the top it's gonna look good, regardless of what the bottom looks like. But like I said, the seller told us it ran, so like recently, like they just had it running, but the water pump was bad, so they couldn't run it for more than just a few seconds. You know, we got some things we gotta like check out and inspect. That fuel looks kind of crusty to me. The brake master cylinder looks like it's maybe leaking a little bit. I don't know, we'll have to check it out. You know, we got some of your typical signs of mice in various places on the engine bay. It doesn't look too bad though, and again, it's fiberglass, so you know, mice aren't going to destroy fiberglass like they will steel, bare steel. You know, looks like we got some electronics tucked up in there we'll have to figure out. There's like a relay just hanging there. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, so I'm gonna do the water pump today, because we got to get it moved into the shop, and I'm by myself, like I said, so there's no way I'm pushing this thing in up the hill into the garage. But if I can get it running and driving, then I can just drive it on up. So I'm gonna do the water pump. I'm probably gonna change the oil. I'm gonna check the coolant, see what we got going on there, and see if I can get it running enough at least to get it into the shop. And then we're gonna service this thing. We're gonna try to keep it as barn findy looking as we possibly can. We've already entered it into some events. Hopefully we'll get it into something cool, some type of driving event, if we can get it drivable. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, this thing's gonna be wild. It's gonna be really cool. We've had a lot of cool British cars over the years. I think this is like possibly the coolest thing ever. We'll see how it is to drive though. We've not ever driven one, so we'll find out. Hopefully we don't find any rust underneath or anything too worrisome. But so be sure to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. If you don't follow our site, barnfinds.com, make sure you sign up for our email and follow the site for updates on this thing, because it's going to be a cool project. We're going to try to document as much of it as we can. Time allows. So be sure to stay tuned for more updates on this thing. I'm going to leave you with some B-roll footage of this thing, some walk around, some up close looks of stuff. So be sure to enjoy, and don't forget to hit that like button.